welcome to Neecee. Hi guys and welcome to Neecee and Lexy, and in today's episode I'll be doing a Q&A with Amanie Illfated.
We're going to be able to listen to SATURN, which is an idea that popped into my head like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, okay, gotta make this come into life. So I'm very excited to have you guys again. Very excited to show you guys that vision.
A Q&A on Amanie's new album SATURN, and as you can see we are in here at the Lynx Music Studio, and it has a lot of interesting genre fusion of the music, including pop, R&B, and I'm so excited to be a mediator for this special album release. And without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys how the listening party was all about. Alright, Amanie and Bob, welcome to Neecee Lexy, and today I'll be asking you guys more information with regards to the album. And first of all, I wanted to say congratulations on completing the album. I know you said it took you 2 years, right?
3.
Correct? 3? Oh wow.
3.
3? Oh wow. Can you walk us through the journey of how you came about to producing this album?
Well, like I was saying, literally in the middle of the night one day, I was like, I just had this vision of Saturn. So the whole concept of Saturn is that it's such a beautiful planet. Everybody loves it from afar, but deep inside there's a lot of toxins, there's a lot of poisons, there's a lot of things that aren't so pretty on the inside. So that's where the concept Saturn came from. The journey was crazy. I think a couple of people here, there's Ozzy, there's Kevin, Rafi, they know the original journey of working on some of the songs there, and we almost have pretty much the whole album done, but something happened and we couldn't release it. So then I had to start all over again with another producer who quit midway after taking payment. So it was like, oh
no.
Great. And then, you know, looking around to find another producer who will work on the track, and I bumped into someone on Instagram, said, hey, there's this guy in the studio far away, and at that point I was so desperate, I'm like, sure, let's go. I went, and it happened to be Satnam from Five Rivers
Wicked.
Entertainment. Yeah.
Guy Branson?
Yeah.
Wicked.
So he did 3 of the tracks. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. He's amazing. And then one day I went to the T-Dot Fest conference, and Thrust heard the Hills, liked it, and then introduced me to Bobby, who was like seated in the corner somewhere. You don't find Bobby on stage, you find him in the corner. And he was just kind of like, hey, and I was like, hey. And he's like, you want to come to studio? I'm like, sure. So next thing you know, another day was born. And then I guess me and Bobby, we have work ethic. We have a good work ethic, or work, I don't know how to call it.
Yeah.
But we wind up working on a lot of songs. So yeah, and then JT, who's the drummer on a couple of the songs, one day he was drumming on a track and he's like, this is gonna sound weird, but I produce. And I was like, okay, why do you wait like 3 months to tell me this? And then that's where the song Sit Back came from. He produced that, and I fell in love with that song instantaneously, and I'm like, don't give this to anyone. And yeah, so a lot of the topics of the album come from personal experiences you probably have heard. It comes a lot from the journey coming to Canada and everything, and also the duality of being a South Sudanese person, immigrant in Canada, and trying to figure out this identity crisis thing, because everyone's like, you're too African to be Canadian, you're too Canadian to be African, you're too feminine to be masculine, and it was just like too much of something. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna be both, and it's just gonna go on this album. If you don't like it, move along. That's it. So
And
that's where the whole concept came from.
And definitely we can hear that from your first track, as you started saying the girl from Juba and all of that concept.
Yes.
And I was relating to it because it's something that a lot of artists, they kind of disconnect their representation because of the people that are going to hear your music. Obviously they're going to relate to it.
Yes.
The fact that being a Canadian and Sudanese is something that I can always like play it on a tune and rock it in my car and what have you.
Yes. Yes.
Great concept. And also just wanted to gear this question towards Bobby. What is it like to work with Amanie?
Pretty easy.
Really?
I mean, in a lot of the cases, we just come into the studio and what kind of song we're working on today. Some happy, some sad, some dark, something poppy, like what are we doing? And you know, within an hour, I usually got a beat down and she's got half the song written already. So it's a pretty easy process. Yeah.
There was wine involved.
Crown Royal.
And Crown Royal.
Awesome. And from all the tracks that you guys both produced and collaborated together for this album, which one would you say your favorite from both of you guys?
I say that's hard. Hard question.
Everything.
Awesome.
All of them, but I would say big emphasis on You Will Never Know. Because that one I started, I produced the beginning, the like skeleton of that.
Yeah.
And I was so like, I was questioning it. And then I kind of showed it to Bobby and I was like, I don't know, but he did something to the track that I think was really just, I don't know what he did to it, but he did something. And it was exactly what I envisioned. So I think that would be like the best collaboration of us.
Awesome.
Can you talk about the release plan?
The release plan, so October 19th is the release plan. We're doing the album release concert that's going to be taking place at Spadina Theater, so not too far from here. So yeah.
Is there going to be a live band? Is there going to be a DJ? Any idea yet?
So right now we're looking at just having a drummer. I think we have you.
Okay,
I think so.
I'm down.
JT's on tour. JT's on tour, so we're not sure like who. Well, you're the one that we I think we talked about this already.
Okay.
Who's gonna be on there? And then because there's so many instruments, so much going on, we were like, you know what? Let's just do the backing tracks for now. So it's gonna be a mixture of like DJ. I think Bobby's gonna be playing piano for some of it, and yeah, keep it small because it's a small stage, not like a massive stage. We can't fit an orchestra on it.
Two-part question.
Yeah.
Any plans for, because I love this music video
Yeah.
for Hills and Dolly.
Yeah.
It's so gorgeous. I don't know who
Thank
shot
you.
it, but they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Is there any other plans to release music videos along with the songs from the album?
Yes, absolutely. So MC2 Music Media, shout out to Darnell
Yes,
and
I
Matt.
know him too.
They shot this one.
He's the one that did that. That's
yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, Matt and Darnell, they're crazy. I love them.
That's
to
why
pieces.
it's so good.
Yeah. But actually, funny you speak of that because I can't go to the after party because tomorrow we might have an after party, but tomorrow I have a video shoot for Peacemaker.
Okay.
Then we have for Melancholy Days, that's going to be set for next month. And then One More Chance, we have a crazy idea for that one. So that's going to come out around September. And then we're just going to sit back. That track is going to have a video once we get all the models. I think you're going to be in it. Yeah. So it's going to be amazing. Yeah. We have a lot of videos coming out soon.
Yes.
What do you want your audience to get, to feel from this memoir? Like, what's your...
It's like a million things. There's a million things I want them to feel. But,
Can you feel like what you
sorry?
people to get from the memoir as a body?
As a body, okay. So first, what I want people to get is a sense that they can be themselves. Because this whole album was about finding myself and finding where I feel comfortable, and what I feel comfortable talking about and how I feel comfortable talking about it. So what I want people to hear is, you know, themselves in the album, and then be able to take that expression and take it elsewhere. Like we played You Will Never Know for a couple people, and the best reaction I got to that was that someone started changing the cities to their city. Just another, he was saying, I forgot the name of the city that he's in, but just another boy from Torit, just another boy from, you know. So I was like, that's amazing, because then everybody has that story. Everybody has a story where they're just another person from this, you know, you will never know who I really am, and that's what I want. I want people to find their identity. Even in Melancholy Days, it's like, I've got scars. Everyone should be able to look at their own scars and, yeah, I've got scars too. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I guess I kind of answered both questions there. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing is happening, and it's exactly what I envision happening.
Where do you find your inspiration to write all these songs, all these hits?
Breakups. Lots of breakups. No. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like One More Chance was actually that. I think Bobby Bobby was there for the process of one breakup, so he saw me and he's like, you don't look okay today, you know, just mentioning it, and I was
What kind
like,
of song you want to
yeah.
do today? Happy song or sad song?
He's
Sad
like,
song.
no, we're gonna do an angry song and it's gonna be in 6/8 or whatever. I don't know what I told him. I told him something, and he's like,
Okay.
Okay.
okay,
Let's
are
do
you
it.
sure you're okay? I'm like, I'm fine. Let's do this. But a lot of the songs are from either breakups or real life experiences. You will never know. It's just from like hearing my mom say that I'm not South Sudanese, and I was like, Mom, where did you give birth to me? Like, is there something I don't know about myself? And then Melancholy Days was, I think a lot of you guys know I was engaged at some point, and it was like, I got to this low point where I'm like, I don't need to be engaged right now, but I'm gonna go along with this. And it was like that, that like darkness and feeling like I don't feel like I'm right now. So that's one of them. And then Sex Talk is talking about like the abuse that I've experienced in the past and being able to address the person, but in a way that's not like, oh, I'm a victim. In a way that's like, yo, look, I can talk about this openly, which means I took away your power. Yeah, so that's kind of where the inspirations come from.
Like a lot of people, especially the continent, would expect you to do like the genre of music, like Afrobeat, or like to present yourself some type of way, and this is the pressure. So how did you kind of like navigate through that and do your own thing?
Like a huge part of my network was saying, you have to do this kind of music. People will buy this kind of music. And I remember at one point I was just like trying to do the Afrobeat thing, and they're like, write happier. I mean, I can try. The happiest I got was Everything, which is still kind of on a negative tone. But I was like, I can't do it. There was just this breakdown point that I had where I just can't do it. I cannot do this. And Satnam was the one who got me through that period of time, because he said it kind of like, hey, you know what would be really nice? And I just told him like, I really can't. And he's like, that's okay. And I was like, oh, it is okay. And he's like, we'll just do whatever it is you feel like doing. And same thing with Bobby. I think every day I come in, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do Afrobeats. And he's like, that's not you. I'm like, you're right. We had this discussion every day. So yeah, it was just basically just realizing at some point, like, there's no fiber in me that wants to do that. I want to mash up genres. I want to do pop, Afrobeat, trap, rock. That's what I want to do. I want to do, the next song is going to be extremely pop because I felt like it. And I also have to make sure that the music is timeless. It's music that I can perform 10 years from now. And that's what happened with the last album, is like I was doing what everybody else said, and then it's like I didn't want to perform certain songs because I'm like, yeah, the audience likes it, but I don't feel happy singing it. So I just will do what I constantly feel excited to get up on stage to do, and excited to present to people.
Can you walk us through one of the memorable tracks that you may have mixed and produced, and just kind of walk us through how you did that?
Let's talk about Everything.
Okay.
So Everything is the second last song on the record. I think you had the lyrics somewhat written already before you came in, and the melody, and we came up with this beat, just something rough that we could record to. I sent it off to my buddy in Vancouver who plays drums, bass, and guitar. He sent a bunch of those parts back. I tried to work on that, and I didn't like it. I wasn't feeling it at all.
So you played all three instruments?
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Yeah, he's got his own studio. He recorded everything over and sent it back. And there was something about it, I just wasn't feeling it. And this would have been like November, I think. Then I went back to BC for Christmas, came back, and deleted everything except for the vocal, started fresh. And what you heard is what I came up with. And it sounds 100 times better than all the other 2-3 versions that were there. Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. One time I listened, I was like, is this country? It wasn't bad, but it was like, I thought it was country. I was like,
sounded like karaoke.
we're doing country now? not that there's nothing against it, but you know.
It sounded like a karaoke song.
Did you reproduce the drums, bass, guitar yourself?
I ended up deleting the drums, deleting the bass, and only keeping very minimal parts of the guitar. Yeah.
By the way, so Ozzy, Kevin, and I think Rafi, I don't know if you got to play it, they had a band before Feeling the One Drop. I wrote everything with them.
Okay.
and then took the lyrics, and then yeah, then you wound up turning into country, and then something happened with it. Yeah. Two. Okay.
One is, what inspired you to start singing from the beginning? Like, did you always have a dream to sing, or is it something just always occurred for you? And the second one, you see yourself.
So for the first one, so the moment that I realized that I'm gonna be a singer, or that I made the decision, I was like 4 years old. We were playing like lava in the living room, so jumping on chairs and stuff. And then the TV, we didn't have cable, but we had CBC, and Celine Dion came up on the screen, and I was like, just stopped, and I was like, that's really cool. Obviously, we didn't have the word cool then, but it's like, that's what I'm gonna do. And I like paused for a good solid minute, and then I was like, okay, and I continued on, and it's just like every day the idea just came back, and then when I was 9, that's when I was like, okay, I can't stop it any longer. It's like literally eating my brain. I have to do it. So I did everything I could to be able to do it from there. And then in terms of collaborations, like I have a whole laundry list. I think I call them every day, and I'm like, hey, can we get this person? Can we get that person? I think I called you, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna get Thrust on a track someday, okay? It's gonna happen. And then I got Noise. I heard him on Peacemaker. That was like a literal, like, I don't know how that happened, but it worked out perfectly. So yeah, open to collaborations. I love to work with people.
So similar question, Amanie. Which producers out there would say inspired you?
Dr. Dre and DJ Quick, definitely my 2 top inspirations. Quincy Jones as well. Prince. Yeah, the RZA. Love the RZA too. Yeah. I'm from Vancouver, so I grew up on a lot of West Coast music. So
Yeah. So that's gonna be. I know it sounds so cliche. Beyonce. Just because I was like, when she came out with the Lemonade album, I was like, come on, girl, like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? She's being so honest. She's being so free. I remember hearing All Night Long. At one point I was like, you know, she doesn't need to talk about this stuff. She doesn't need to, but she can, and it's freeing. And she was talking about how like the relationship, her relationship was going downhill, and they did the music therapy, and I was like, okay, that's something that I can take from it. I can do this as therapy. And then it happened with You Will Never Know. I recorded that, and I was so angry, and when I walked out of that, I was like, I feel good. Like, I feel really good. And it was like from the Beyonce kind of concept of things. And then I just noticed like it actually affected my day, my life after doing that. So just, yeah, that's Beyonce is the one that inspired. Also MIA inspired The Hills, inspired Peacemaker, and even Melancholy Days, because she's one of those freedom fighters. She just, like talks about it, she doesn't care. And I've always wanted to be like that, but I'm not as crazy as her. I wish I could be, but yeah, I want to do it in my way. So she's one of the inspirations for those 2 tracks there.
DJ Quick, Dr. Dre for sure.
Well, congratulations, guys, and once again, thank you so much for being in the Neecee Lexy page, and I'll be posting more of your details. If you're an artist and would like to be featured in our next Q&A segment, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also send us an email at neeceelexy@gmail.com. Or for those people who wanted to catch up with our previous feature articles, you can head on to www.neeceelexy.com/blog, and you will be seeing all our previous feature artists that are on there. And for those artists who are like releasing album or have a project coming up and would like to have a sit down with Neecee, also you can go to neeceelexy.com and send us an information, and we will be following up with you on our next segment.